NC reversal on death penalty law reopens old discrimination wounds. Vertical line all Jazeera America. Global header background image URL/content/jam/jcr:/content/header/image desktop.adapt.960.high.1,339,238,903.jpg at media minimum width 768 px and max width 959 px. Global header background image URL/content/jam/header/image.adapt.960.high.1,339,238,903.jpg at media max width 767 px. Global header background image URL/content/jam/mobile.adapt.753.medium.1,339,238,903.jpg. Display mobile navigation. Display mobile search bar. News, video, shows, schedule, more shows, sections. U.S. International economy, technology, science, environment, health, education, culture, sports. Trending. Syria's war, weather, health, technology. Search form. NC reversal on death penalty law reopens old discrimination wounds. By Kimberly Johnson. At Wardle. September 12, 2013, 5:00 a.m. at Trailblazing Racial Justice Act, repealed by new governor, allowed appeals of sentences based on racial bias topics. U.S. North Carolina. Race, ethnicity. Viewed comments. An undated photo of the death chamber at the Central Prison in Raleigh, NC. Department of Correction /Reuters/Landolph. When Benjamin McKinney found himself on the jury of a death penalty case in North Carolina in 1996, his focus was on the defendant and the evidence presented. He had no idea at the time the level of scrutiny that prosecutors were placing on him. 2. McKinney had served in the military and worked for the same company for 3 decades. He has no criminal record and, by his own estimation, is an upstanding citizen. More than 15 years passed before McKinney, who is black and now 65, learned that prosecutors attempted to strike him from sitting on the jury for the capital case because he was also a member of the NAACP. He's a member of an organization which I strongly associate with being anti-state and anti-death penalty, the prosecutor then told the judge. The request to strike him, however, was found unconstitutionally discriminatory, and McKinney was allowed to serve. The jury ultimately found the defendant guilty. Come to find out, all of this happened behind closed doors, said McKinney, who was informed of the statements by the American Civil Liberties Union while it looked into cases of racial discrimination in capital trials. It didn't really matter about my character, it was all about the color of my skin. It kind of makes you lose faith in the court system. Race continues to threaten the balance of justice in North Carolina, critics say, as a new law has gone into effect cutting off appeals of death row inmates charging racial discrimination. In North Carolina's criminal court system, McKinney's situation is an outlier only in how much was divulged in court records. A study of jury selection in North Carolina capital cases conducted by Michigan State University, for example, found that prosecutors used their right to peremptory challenge, the mechanism for striking potential jurors without giving a reason, to block black jurors from serving on death row cases in the state twice as often as other potential jurors. In every analysis that we performed, race was a significant factor in prosecutorial decisions to exercise peremptory challenges in jury selection in these capital proceedings, the study found. The question of how far racial discrimination affects death row cases led the state to enact its Racial Justice Act in 2009. Signed into law by then-Governor Beverly Perdue, the Democrat, it allowed executions to be commuted to life sentences without a role if race proved to be a significant factor in imposing the death penalty in those cases. It was the first law of its kind in the country, one supported by those both for and against the death penalty as a safeguard against flaws in the criminal system. A new state law signed into effect in June, however, unravels all that. Newly elected Gov. Pat McCrory, the Republican, quietly endorsed a repeal of the Racial Justice Act. The repeal shuts down appellate claims based on racial discrimination and